one more time, one more tournament, Robot Madness, the final one, the last one until we do more later, maybe.
I don't know. 5 years. 5 years later, we'll be back.
We filmed this in August, and it is currently March 2nd when we're filming this audio, but let's get to the northwest region of the bracket. You know how it goes. Single elimination tournament, 64 robots. It is mad.
We have Atomic Green, we have Double Tap, we have Eliminador, we have Dior, we have Bot of Italy, we have Zinger, we have Havoc, we have Quantum. Then we have the other side, which I'm too lazy to say, but there's some cool ones in there, like Metal Siege, who's finally back after being gone for like a bunch of years, and Buckeye, which is not our bot, but it's here and it's pretty cool.
And of course, the world famous Bird Brain. But starting off, we're gonna go in this northwest portion of the bracket. First, we have a highlighted fight.
Yeah, this is basically it. Atomic Green easily beat Double Tap. The fight wasn't very good, but you know.
Wow, that was fast.
If you bet Double Tap, that was the wrong choice. But getting into Atomic Green, wait, what? No, Eliminador Dior. This has been a long time. I'm sorry. This was the first ever fight on the channel, and they're finally fighting again, like 5 years later. This should be a fun one.
Yeah, it definitely should be a fun one. Dior sporting a new look. Eliminador more of the same. This should be an actual fight, unlike that Atomic Green Double Tap fight we saw earlier. It was one clip. But yeah, let's get right down into the box.
No quit, just right to the action. And the fight is underway. Both the bots getting out of their squares and already charging in. Some good hits immediately by Dior.
Yeah, that spinner on Dior is just much more effective than it was in that first ever video we filmed. And Eliminador seems to be hung up on that pit. That was a good opportunity there by Dior to get a hit on a vulnerable Eliminador.
That was a good shot. Of course, Eliminador, one of the few bots that has never changed throughout its career. This is the same shelf from 2018, and they're trying to put it to some good use here, hoping to land some shots. A new flipping.
Nice little ram there, flipping over Dior.
Yeah, but Dior popping back. That is a very strong spinner. They could land a nice shot, maybe getting the flip, end this fight. Eliminador does not have any mobility on its head, despite the fact that it has wheel holes.
Some great pushing there over by the pit, or over by the raised little shelf we have over there. Pardon me. Still getting used to this commentating thing again. It has been a while. But some just nice pushing here by Eliminador, kind of dominating Dior and rendering that weapon useless.
Yeah, that weapon really, it's had a few decent shots, but not enough to really say that it's done much effective damage. Getting some good aggression points, though. As you know, we have a 5-point scale for aggression, damage, and control. Those points will matter if it goes to a decision.
Yeah, and every time it seems like Dior is able to land a shot, Eliminador knocks them up on their head, and they just like that, they fall over, and that weapon is almost rendered useless.
Yeah, that was a great attack there from Eliminador, doing some great work here, especially in the control category. Not a whole lot of damage so far, but with the revised damage scale, it's no longer a super easy win for spinners now. So Dior is really going to have to put some work in, maybe knock off that lance, damage the drive. They still got a lot of time to do it. Still a good bit of time left in this match.
Yeah, definitely. And Eliminador over there by the pit. That's not where you want to be. And a great hit there by Dior to follow up. They are now playing the aggressor, needing to make up some points.
Yeah, now they're starting to come back a little bit, but Eliminador still doing a great job controlling the pace here, especially with that spike. It seems like there might actually be a little bit of damage on that spike, but they're still doing pretty much fine so far. They're getting a nice, good push into the walls. We enter through the last 30-ish seconds left of this fight.
Yeah, and just some great little chips there by Dior. Eliminador starting to look like it's slowing down a little bit, but still keeping its foot on the gas as much as it can, and a great ram there into the screws.
A great attack there, and as we enter through the last little bit of this fight, can anyone make a good push and getting near the pit? Closer to the pit is Dior. Almost in there, being pushed back.
And a great attack by Eliminador.
And over the edge, and that is going to be the fight. The first winner of the actual first shown fight, we don't really count the first one, is Eliminador getting revenge on Dior, and a very solid win there. They negated that weapon and controlled the pace very well, even getting in a few flips there, using the energy of the spinner against itself.
Yeah, definitely. I wasn't a big fan of how Dior played this fight. I just think their spinner was too big to go up against that wedge. They needed to hit on the sides, and that was a good example of it right there in that clip, but they just weren't able to get any damage done with that weapon, rendering it useless and eventually succumbing to that pushing power of Eliminador.
Yep, and in the end, that's how this first shown fight goes. Eliminador moving on to the next round, and they will have a very interesting fight on their hands against Atomic Green. And just like that, the tournament kicks off with a dominant win there for Eliminador. Very good showing there, but now we're going to get to the next fight between Bot of Italy and Zinger.
A foe alerts near to impending doom. A lifter meets lifter in the round of 32 as the match comes to a start. The round is over with Zinger on their art. Zinger is a lifter, but he'll still demolish you. He's got tens of opponents, what will happen to poor old you? Zinger is the best thing to happen since Paul Blart Mall Cop 2, and he'll demolish you. Yeah, he'll demolish you. He's a lifter, but he'll still demolish you in the round of 32. Zinger.
Which could give them some trouble, but with that being said, let's go down to the arena and see how this match plays out. Both the robots in the squares, and the fight is underway. Both of them charging at each other. Two lifter, flipper style design things.
Yeah, Zinger definitely the much lower bot. Bot of Italy is just huge though, hard to get around, and definitely hard to actually lift up. Zinger has his work cut out for him in this fight.
Yeah, Zinger, of course, the lower seed in this one. They haven't fought nearly as much as Bot of Italy did, but they still managed to win that tournament, that one tournament that it was in. So definitely a threat here, not to be overlooked. But Bot of Italy, it's had some good wins itself and some good flips, so they'll have to be careful here. Hope they can get the right shot, but uh-oh!
And a great flip there by Zinger, and actually Bot of Italy cannot get over in that position. This is going to be a knockout.
This is going to be the fight. Pinned up on its back, no luck, going, and gone. Upset victory there for Zinger, taking down was the 5 or 4 seed, I don't remember. But either way, that is a big win for it. Definitely going to be a bot to look out for in this region.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they just stuck to the game plan there. Bot of Italy is a bot that just wears you down, and Zinger just wasn't having it. They got around to their sides. Some good driving there by the pit to kind of save themselves, and just stuck to their game plan, get around to them, flip them, and they're done.
Dang, great use there of the flipper, and that's definitely going to be a potent machine in this tournament. They're going to have some tough matchups ahead of themselves, but that's how you want to start off this. That's how I started one off this tournament, and that's a good bot that they just beat.
But next up, we have the long-awaited return of a fan favorite in Havoc, taking on Quantum. Now, Quantum is an interesting bot with that crusher. It actually can puncture into robots, unlike a lot of other crushers you see, but it definitely has its work cut out for it with Havoc.
Yeah, Havoc, of course, first time it's been here in a very long time, since I believe season 3 or 4. But Quantum, if they could get a good bite in that wheel, they could do some damage, because the chassis is from old Seizure. And we know how bad that bot was, but this is definitely a much better bot than Seizure was.
For a chance to take on Zinger in the next round, Havoc versus Quantum, here we go. And already that spinner up to speed on Havoc.
Seems like it's bouncing a little bit across the floor, maybe a little bit of those early jitters, but you know, it happens. First time fighting in a while.
Yeah, when you have a spinner that big, you have to be careful you're not hurting yourself more, and already Quantum is on its back.
And ooh, some big shots there, and already self-righting, but showing that spinner has not skipped a beat since the time that it's been gone. Already landing some really nice shots there in Quantum and flipping it over again.
Yeah, some amazing shots we're seeing here on Quantum, and that just looks stunned right now. Havoc looks like they've returned to form immediately.
Yeah, it looks like that crusher also has been jammed up from that last hit. It looks like part of it yeah, that crusher is definitely not in the best shape right now. Some great hits there. Havoc, they really could end this fight at any point, but they decided to keep it going. But now they're stuck on their back, and
yeah, just take the win.
Just take it and end it. They were nice to keep it going, but in the end, Quantum, no match for the power of Havoc. No crushes, no hope, and that is a dominant showing for Havoc. Finally back in the arena for the first time in a long time, and they're showing they mean business. This is no bot to sleep on.
Yeah, what an impressive showing there from Havoc. I mean, Quantum kind of rammed into them a little bit. They were bouncing off the floor a tiny bit, but once they were able to get a purchase on Quantum, it was over for them. They don't have a wedge. They don't really need one. That spinner is just so powerful, and I think other bots got to look out for it. If I was Zinger, I would not be looking forward to fighting Havoc in my next match.
Yeah, great performance there, and that is going to be the end of that little half of the bracket. 4 bots have moved on, and Havoc proving maybe to be one of the strongest bots in this region, but still a lot more fights to go for it. But now let's go over to the other side, in which we have the 2-seeded Behemoth. They've Behemoth hasn't had the greatest go of it in the past few seasons, but in the end, they're still the 2 seed, and they get to take on Jaws, which is a grabber bot, but we have not seen it run before, and Behemoth should be the favorites here. Just get 1 flip and you're good.
Yeah, I mean, Behemoth is just legendary on the channel, obviously 2-time champion. And yeah, Jaws really has his work cut out for it. It's going to be really hard to grab onto that big body of Behemoth, but they're still going to try, so here we go.
And the match is underway, and already Jaws actually doing a good job getting to the side of Behemoth. It could maybe get a good bite on the sides where those wheels are protected. I don't think it'll disable any of those wheels, but if it can get some good bites and control the pace, it could be good. But there's some nice little pushing rams there from Behemoth.
Yeah, Behemoth has Jaws by the mouth, actually, and Jaws, really, the key to this fight for Jaws is just to grab Behemoth, put him in the pit as soon as they can, and the longer that they avoid that pit, the longer night this is going to be for Jaws.
Yeah, Jaws trying their best to get around, but not a whole lot of success. Ooh, there they go, and they actually got a decent bite there. Not a bad showing so far for the 15th seed in this region. They're doing their best. They're actually putting up a decent fight here. Behemoth not having the best go of it, but uh-oh.
Yeah, and here's not where you want to be. And I think with that flip, that's probably going to be it for Behemoth.
Jaws trying to self-right with it. Oh, no.
Yeah.
They tried their best. They were actually doing pretty good at the start there. I think they had more good moments than Behemoth did, but in the end, don't have a self-righter, you're probably not going to get too far, especially against a flipper. Behemoth showing they still got it in them, but they still have a tough road ahead of them. Have to see how that flipper can respond when they go up against some tougher opponents.
Yeah, definitely. Behemoth, I mean, you show why you've won back-to-back championships. I know it's a 15 seed, but still an impressive flip and an impressive finish either way. I think they have the ability to go far, but they're gonna need to create some upsets in this bracket despite being the 2 seed.
Definitely. They'll have some ways to go in the future, but that's a good start for their campaign. We'll have to see how they do in the future. So Behemoth going forward as kind of we expected. And now we're going to get into another highlighted fight between Enforcer and Death by the Hit, where this fight, if fights are highlighted in this tournament, it's for a good reason. Death by the Hit really struggled with drive in this fight. They were having a lot of issues with control and getting the body of Enforcer into that spinner, which made it kind of ineffective for most of the fight. Enforcer just stayed the course, waited its moment, and eventually pushed them into pit, allowing them to advance, and that rounds out this little region, and they will fight Behemoth again. They always fight Behemoth, but you know, that's how it goes. Now we have the bottom region. Talk about your favorite bot.
My favorite bot ever, Bird Brain, my brainchild. I freaking love Bird Brain, and I know for a fact that they are going to use their brain to bash in the top of Metal Siege and take on the upset W and run this side of the bracket. That is my call right now.
Metal Siege is back after a few years. It's pretty good. It's a 3 seed. But they have to fight Bird Brain, which, you know, anything can happen here. But the goal, probably just flip them, like once, maybe twice.
Nah, that's what back over. Here comes Bird Brain, and already losing those wings, they were just holding him back. And he's pecking his head into the top of Metal Siege. He has no quit in him.
And there are some good hammer shots, but also some very nice flips, and... oh, there it is.
Alright.
Okay. Oh, they're attacking the camera now. They couldn't beat Metal Siege, but they sure tried to beat the camera. Well, so that one pretty much, I think, as most people expected, unless, you know, you really like Bird Brain. But
yeah, I mean, Bird Brain not expected to win by anyone except me. But, you know, you just gotta respect how goofy Bird Brain is, how much fun it is to watch.
Yeah, you know, Metal Siege, they were very nice. They could have made that a lot worse. And in the end, they're advancing, and they're definitely going to be a threat once again, as they always are, especially back when they were in the previous seasons. But now we go to the final fight, in which we have the first fan bot, Buckeye, which is very strong. It's known for chucking a bite force like halfway across an arena. So we'll see how it does against Monstrosity. Monstrosity wasn't too good in Season 7, but maybe they can do something here.
Yeah, this is a fight I'm very excited for. We saw Buckeye in testing here, and it is the real deal. Monstrosity has a lot of power behind that spinner, but horizontal versus vertical, always going to be a classic matchup.
Yep, and here we go. And the fight is underway. Both these big spinners spinning up Monstrosity quick to get over there and try to land some shots. Ooh.
And already a throw across the arena from Buckeye. That's what we're used to seeing from this spot. The question is, can it keep it up for the whole match?
And it doesn't look like Monstrosity could. 2 shots and it's already dead in the water. Buckeye wasting no time here, making its name known, and that was
fast.
That was really fast. We were wondering about Buckeye's reliability, but turns out it was Monstrosity we had to worry about. And Buckeye, very quick win. That was extremely dominant.
Yeah, I mean, their game plan, I like how they turned their backs so they could get their spinner up to speed. That's great strategy there from Buckeye. Just 2 huge hits, and that was pretty much it for Monstrosity. They couldn't take the heat, so they had to stay out of the kitchen.
And that was it. They were not cooking in that one, and Buckeye definitely was cooking, and that is going to be the fight. Very dominant win there, and that spinner definitely has a lot of good power. So, just like that, the final spot has been taken, but now we're going to take this last little bit to reflect, because not a bit shorter segments before the fight, but now that we have this region all sorted out for this first half, what are the most intriguing matchups for this next round, you think?
Well, I'm definitely looking at Metal Siege and Buckeye. I mean, we just saw the power of Buckeye. Metal Siege, that front wedge is going to be very hard to get around. Buckeye has its work cut out for it, and I think that could be an incredible fight.
That'll be definitely a great match, and we'll also have a lot of fun seeing Zinger and Havoc. Those 2 bots, Zinger being one of those that rose up a lot in that first fight, and Havoc being back. It's going to be interesting to see how those 2 clash. And Eliminador, it's going to be tough for them against Atomic Green, but you never know. They could pull off something crazy.
Yeah, Atomic Green definitely looking for an upset. And then we're going to see a classic matchup, Behemoth versus Enforcer. You know, happens very often. I think I favor Behemoth in this fight a little bit, but Enforcer definitely has the ability to take them down.
Definitely, but that is the end of this episode. In the next one, we go to the region dominated by Krusty Grab, taking the 1 seed in that position. We'll also see the new Buzzkill making its way into the arena. We'll be seeing Steve. And also these two bots are pretty good. Sad Octopus. We'll see Blindside. Oh, that's a wheel. We'll also see these 2 guys, they're wedges. Jab is back for the 2 people who like Jab. And Reaper explodes. Oh yeah, we also have Seizure. Seizure's good now. That's pretty cool. But that's the end of the episode. Thank you guys so much for watching. It's going to be a great tournament.
Yay!